back in Salt Lake City, Utah, men's quarterfinals. My name is Dave Charles Vincent, alongside Jonathan Bike Jr. for this Elite 8 matchup between Mondo Ortiz and Emmett Peixoto.
Serving Armando Ortiz.
Referee Nadi Alvarado Jr.
0, serve 0.
There we go, John, you're back in. Referee Nadi Jr., John Bike, the only Hall of Famer in this broadcast booth in this tournament. And you let everybody know it, too, because you wear your Hall of Fame jacket everywhere you go, which
I've been talking about doing that. I haven't actually done it yet. I'm getting a lot of encouragement from key people. This may be the last match right now that I'm not wearing it. I may run right to the car after this and get it.
Oh, so you have it in the car?
It's in the car.
Okay, yeah. Take it out at truck stops as you commute here across the Great Plains.
All they see is Hall of Fame. It doesn't matter if they know what Hall of Fame it is.
You know, Emmett, I'm sorry, I couldn't see. Okay, Mondo, just give him a little more room, please. That's all. You have to make sure you spread away from each other.
Now, if it wasn't close enough for the ref to even notice.
Sorry. I don't think anybody saw that.
Did you see it?
No.
So
he did? Oh.
No, but see, nobody knows who hit who, but we know somebody hit somebody on a backswing or a follow-through.
Okay.
I had a conversation with someone about Emmett's chippiness earlier this year, and she assured me he only does that when he's right. So.
Okay.
Side is up. Zero, serving 0.
This is the style Emmett here really never Mondo's favorite, and Emmett just executes it so well. He made short work of
1, serve 0.
Mondo last time I saw them play. The reason Mondo might do better with it today, to me the left side, it doesn't make, the left glass does not make, that's a short serve, doesn't make the return of the lob any harder, because you can get yourself in position there to get a good background, but it does make it harder for the server to see what the receiver's doing with it. So Mondo's unloaded on a few, and Emmett hasn't even been able to react.
1, serving 1.
Now, as a left-hander, does it make any difference in this court with this sidewall compared to someone who has a dominant hand of the right? I mean, I wouldn't know the physics involved. But talking to Tom Sheridan, he said it's an advantage to a lefty, and talking to Dave Fink, he said it's a disadvantage.
Well, they're Armando off to a good start here. They're probably both right. I mean, if you go in the court thinking it's a disadvantage, you probably won't do well. If you go in thinking it's an advantage, I could see this morning specifically how it was an advantage for Tom when you really got a cannon back there and an Irish whip. Hard to read anyway. You know, the opponent's just not picking the ball up soon enough. So he can either drop a low one to the left or crush one to the right, and the player doesn't even see it until.
I think made a good point too, just like you said, it depends on which way you look at it. When he serves, he looks back and loses the ball on the return. So,
but I think righties might have that problem too.
Right.
But he is used to having a better view of it as a lefty. I had a hard time early on.
3, serving 1.
Because I was trying to do more with my left hand. I preferred right side glass as a lefty because I wasn't really trying to do anything crazy or small target with my right hands. But left hand, if your judgment's a tiny bit off, you know, the shots I'm trying to hit with my strong hand, they get affected. Smooth start from Ortiz.
Ortiz does look focused here.
4, serving 1.
Mondo Ortiz, Norwalk, California.
Overhit that one. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm going to replay that.
Oh, wow. After the play's over? Oh, man.
Was it the one he dove on?
Yes.
Yeah, no.
Wow, that's really a late.
The protocol, that just tells the players, well, we need to complain a lot. The squeaky wheel will get the grease in this game. And Emmett's probably right, but the protocol there.
That's where the slide was there.
Yeah, okay. It's just that for Nadi to just
All right, we're going to
overturn
replay
himself 2
4,
shots later.
Serving 1.
He could have just asked a linesman, and if either one of them saw it, just done it the official way.
Replay. Yeah, almost did there. Replay 4-1.
Maybe Mondo encouraged.
Side is up.
We'll see if who can dictate the style of play today, because if Mondo can somehow do the first strike attack the way Nadi Jr. did the last event, that's probably his best chance to win.
Yeah.
All right, I've got Emmett serving 1, serving 4.
Oh my gosh. Are you serious? Is there a question whether or not Mondo is left or right-handed?
When Mondo's on, the opponent's retrieving quality
Look at this with his left here, John.
doesn't even matter. Look at that.
It's beautiful, actually. How similar. Wow, and Mondo got that back?
Side up.
How similar is Mondo Ortiz and your recollection of a young
Yeah,
Vince
1, serving
Munoz on
4.
shots like that? Is it
Yeah,
very
same
close?
thing. The low ones were low. And it was more uncanny on Mondo's way up. He was clearly just trying to mirror everything Vince did. A little bit more of his own identity now, but it was really uncanny in his junior years.
Point. 2, serving 4.
Yeah, I think it's impressive. And another bottom board. That's 6 already for Mondo here.
Encouraging for Emmett that Armando has hit this many perfect
4,
shots and
serving 2.
has 4 points only to show for it. See, that's...
And he does it again,
Point.
John.
Yeah, and this is Emmett's against a very hot player, the Chapman-like philosophy. Well, hey, he hit 30 brilliant shots, he might beat
5,
me,
serves
but
2.
I don't think he can.
We lose
What he's found is Brady can, and
right.
last month Alvarado could. Really, nobody else has. He hasn't really. Who else has beat him this year? It wasn't rhetorical. I want an answer.
Dave Fink has beaten Mondo.
No, I'm sorry. I was talking about Emmett's Emmett's style of. You're only going to beat me if you're insanely
Side is
hot.
up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's too much to ask for most people. He's such a good retriever. And
4, 5. 2, serves 5.
You hear the referee counting? How many seconds?
Hold it, hold it, hold it. Sorry.
And you know, John, you and I lose perspective on this just a little bit because we are kind of doing other facets at a tournament. But these local players come out here and they don't see pro handball sometimes, you know, once in 20 years or maybe once a year. They are huddled around watching this offense from Mondo Ortiz.
I had a hard time getting close to an Alvarado tiebreaker, and I'm in the GD Hall of Fame.
Right.
Can a Hall of Famer get a seat? I had to say that.
30-second.
I still did.
Nope,
They
couldn't
gave
get
me-
it.
No.
1 minute.
I mean, you're a VIP.
Guess that's not doesn't matter when you've got a crowd fighting.
Got a guy that
anxiously
hasn't
fighting
seen
for the
pro
same
handball in
seat.
20 years. I mean,
I guess that's the other reason. There's just too much interest in these matches for who's going to give up a seat.
Coming back there in a minute.
While you're down there.
Jeff, I can't see you. If I talk to him on this, he can hear me.
20 seconds.
this is I I think this is different than just a regular timeout. I thought something happened to Mondo.
I saw him hunched over. My first instinct was fatigue from a couple tough rallies, but yeah.
I always worry about Mondo and that chest of his. You know, he kind of tapped his chest a couple times and then called a timeout. Not trying to make something more than it really is, but I thought, well, that's weird. But here in elevation, just strange things happen. You just never know.
Serves 5.
3-5.
Point.
Emmett just forcing Mondo to maintain an extremely high level of play.
4 serves 5.
Oh, that's a nice
Point.
kill shot there from Emmett Peixoto from San Francisco, California. Wife Jessica Claire is here, courtside.
5 serving 5.
I like the adjustment to this serve, and I like Mondo how to do this eventually too. Emmett realizing he can only keep the lob off the back wall today if it's underhand, perhaps because of the altitude. And Mondo adjusting and going to cut it off.
Point.
Same result for Mondo though.
Ortiz tries to dip down there with the left hand, and that's about 3 of those that he's missed. It looks like he's a little under the weather. Something happened to Mondo here, and I really don't know what it is.
Referee talking about his shirt now. He's very proudly wearing the official gear for this tournament.
Greg.
Can you put my name on this? Take it back with you.
Referee
No.
doesn't want to put that referee shirt on. Makes him look like he works at Foot
at
Locker.
our event, he just flat out didn't. They were lime green, so stripe. Only acceptable polyester is striped polyester. 'Cause the lime green, he just was a good no-go.
All right, resuming play at
If you're going to play the
6-5.
simple green U.S. Open of handball, you got to wear some variant of green while you're reffing.
Back to the roof. Man,
Point.
It's a little too low.
well, he went for it.
7 serving 5.
Huge setup from Mondo.
Nice mix there.
Side is out.
But I was saying about these fans is, you know, they haven't seen top handball for a while, and they come out and they're seeing a show with some of those great shots that we saw from Nadi and Luis, and then Mondo comes out here and has 7 kill shots now that are less than 2 inches high, and Emmett hustling and also making some low bottom board kill shots and stuff like that from Peixoto. These guys are in awe here locally. They're looking around going, we've never seen anything
Like a
like
different
this.
game, yeah. Not for a year anyway.
7 serves 5. Side is out. Five serves 7. Short serve. Second serve.
And the
Point.
referee accurately calling that serve. Tough, too tough to handle as it turns out. A Z serve, service winner.
6 serves 7. Short serve. Second serve. Side is out.
But at this level, the Z's got to be almost perfect, or that can happen.
And that's one of those returns that, as a server, you might not want to
7
do
serves
again,
6.
because now you know what could happen if you make one little
It really
tiny mistake.
puts a lot more pressure on you when you try that serve.
Look at that shot.
Great concentration. He made it look easy, but anything angling toward the side wall like that and that close to the wall, it's not an easy shot.
8 serves 6.
We're going to 15. Had to win by 2. Oh my gosh. That was an amazing shot. Moused out from the front wall, and let's watch it in slow motion here on the instant replay. Thought that ball could have been short.
9, serve 6.
And that's a flat mouse.
Well, he's feeling it at the moment.
Point.
Well, Peixoto certainly just
Mac. Sorry. What am I doing?
playing good inspired ball here after
10,
Mondo
serve 6.
came out attacking early. Then something happened with Mondo where he's either the elevation or he strained something, but not to downplay Emmett, he's been playing tremendous. There's another one from Mondo. Number 8 from Ortiz.
Foul.
And like you said earlier, it's a pretty good feeling to know that your opponent just hit 8 flat rollouts and he only has 6 and you have 10 points on the scoreboard.
6, serving 10. Side is out.
He's trying
Wow.
to close the gap on the lowest of the low ball. But that's not a very good serve.
10, serving 6.
Mondo gets to see that serve all the time back home at the LAAC, and now he has
Side
another
out.
rollout. I would say if, 16 points plus about another 16 side outs,
6, serving 10.
and more than half of those, 75%, have been ending on
Hold it.
rollouts or kill
Yes,
shots.
this is where we miss Jean Kastner, who's always right
Yes.
on top of this. Making her own
Replay
way through the
6-10.
women's draw, though, with an upset win. She might not consider it an upset, but doing extra duty on the court this week and doesn't
Point.
have those stats right on hand. But a remarkable amount of rallies so far have ended in
7,
flat
serving
rollouts.
10.
It's like you're watching Toddy play Vince or something.
I wouldn't
Point.
go that far. I could. We have another.
8, serving 10.
This broadcast is missing. I could have just said 72% of the rallies have ended. I
Yeah, you could have done
could
that.
have just said it with conviction.
Point.
And
Timeout,
Ortiz
is that a
now.
30 or a 60? He
I'm
said 60.
not familiar with the
Thank
hand
you.
signals.
When we come back in the court, the score will be 9, serving 10.
Let's go to Kara Mack, courtside in the gallery now. Kara, what's going on?
Hey guys, I'm with
You're saving
Aisling
points
Riley
there.
here before she takes on her opponent. A few more games here out here at the match you're watching here. We're celebrating the 10th anniversary this year of the WPH being on the tour. What does that mean to you?
I've only ever been to 2 WPH stops, this Salt Lake City one and last one, along with the US Open. So yeah, the work the WPH is doing incredible. The live feed, the coverage. All the players feel very welcome and they get a lot of press online, and yeah, it's just incredible work that WPH do.
What's been your favorite stop so far?
Well, out of the two, out of these two, like I always enjoy going to the US Open. But I've come here twice now, and each time it's been incredible. Just coming to Salt Lake City, it's not somewhere
9, serves 10.
ordinarily you're going to go to. So it's great to be able to come here. But I would probably say the US Open in Los Cabos.
And you're probably saying you should ask me that tomorrow after I see how all this plays out, right?
Yes, ask me that again tomorrow, and hopefully I'll have a different answer.
Talk about women's handball. A few Ireland players coming
Together in
over.
10.
Do you guys all stick together? Are you kind of out to take everyone else down, or is it more an individual thing?
I think it's probably more an individual team. Obviously, when someone from your country's playing, you're rooting for them. But I mean, whenever you go in, it's every woman for themselves, I suppose.
Good luck today.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you very much, Kara. And there's another left-handed kill shot, this time from Mondo Ortiz, number 9 for him. The stats say that Emmett has 8 flat rolls, 9 for Mondo.
10,
Well,
serves 10.
did they get the one during the interview for Ortiz's
No.
10th point?
That wasn't picked up. Should make that 10 and 8. Maybe we should just count rollouts instead of points. Look at that.
Point.
Pretty close.
Need a towel.
That's funny that Noddy had to ask. Game 1 going to 15, and you have to win by 2. This is a quarterfinal match here on the Race for 8 Tour. Armando Ortiz and
Does it count as flat when it hits the sidewall crack? Because it wasn't
Yeah.
flat off the front wall.
yes.
Wow. Wow. Did you bring down the plane?
We still have
Getting a
another.
really good look inside Nadia Alvarado's mind here when he doesn't. He should realize he's mic'd up.
Yeah, he knows.
Towel? I mean, sorry. Shirt change. I think that is 2 minutes long.
Daniel Cordova
That shirt change.
and Mike Schneider will be coming up. And if
They
you
made that
were to make a
exchange.
bracket before the tournament started, much like March Madness, you probably wouldn't have thought that one of those guys would have made it. Possibly Danny Cordova, but knowing that Paul Brady would be playing Mike Schneider, you wouldn't have thought that you would see this as a potential one of these guys winning to go into the semifinals. Let's go to the gallery once again as we wait for these players to change shirts and gloves and all that other stuff. Kara, what's going on?
Yep, staying busy here in the gallery. I'm with Sean Lenning. You're witnessing here a match where you might take on one of these two guys. What are you witnessing?
Well, a battle of sorts. Mondo came out strong, and Emmett kind of weathered that first storm. So I don't know. Might see another one though. I think out of Mondo.
What do you appreciate or learn from either of these players and the way they play?
Mondo has some highlight reel shots that are just crazy. That one left-handed rollout, he took it like this high, and then it just stayed that high. It's amazing. So I can dream of doing that, but it's inspiring more than I can't take it from him, but I can be inspired. So
WPH now celebrating 10 years. What has the WPH done for you?
I'm celebrating 30 years today. Can I throw that in there? It's my birthday.
Is it really?
Yeah, and
Happy
I'm 30.
birthday.
But
Where's the balloon drop?
I
30 too.
I
Wow.
kind of wish I was 10 like the WPH, so that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, it's nice. Just afforded me the opportunity to be around my friends and stuff and compete, make some money. It's been beautiful. Yeah.
What's been your favorite? Travel-wise, what's been your favorite stop this year?
This one's pretty sweet because I have some family in the area, and we really like San Francisco. And I feel like I liked all of them this year. I was kind of looking forward to these tournaments more than I have in the past, so it's all been good.
Knowing you're on your second half now in the next 30 years, what's in store?
My second.
We'll have a third 30 years out there, I'm sure.
Well, I always said I'd get my act together when I'm 30, so just starting.
Oh, no.
So I might be good this in my 30s. We'll see.
Any birthday wishes, birthday plans?
No. I'm gonna keep it civilized.
Nice. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Sean Lenning also celebrating his birthday. I mean, he wants to make sure that WPH is celebrating 10, but I'm 30 today.
All right, fellas. Time to play ball.
That was one of the longest
That was a longer one,
shirt
yeah.
change and glove changes, and everything you could possibly have was changed there.
It's okay.
Peixoto forgot his eye guards, and referee is
It's fine. Honest mistake.
The referee had time to
That's a good move.
make a text to the family group text about his shirt.
I know, it's okay.
unbelievable. Another long delay here as now we're waiting for the eye guards from the player.
Oh, there's another text. That's a good one.
This is the Players' Championship race for 8 in Salt Lake City, Utah. Where game one is just slowed down to a
Mondo
complete
serving
halt.
11, serves 10.
Here's that foot fault you captured on the
Yeah.
on the slow-mo promotional for the day.
Yeah, if you want to see it again, we'll turn the lights off and show you what it really looks like up close.
12, serving 10. Point.
Look at that pinch in the left corner.
First strike. He gonna need a lot of these.
13, serves 10.
Nice. Mondo looking for the opportunity, took a little bit off it. Any harder, it would have come back far enough that Emmett would have got it.
30, west side.
Now Peixoto calling a 30-second timeout, really trying to slow this down.
Scored 3 fouls right now.
This is game number 1 of a best 2 out of 3 to 15 breaker. Obviously, 15, win by 2. Quarterfinal match between Mondo Ortiz and Emmett Peixoto. See what Mondo does here at game point. Gets pushed all the way to the back corner. Great return of serve from Emmett. Can't get any better than that.
10, serving 14.
On to the power serve. Ooh.
There's now the 11th point on the board here. Peixoto has 11, Ortiz has 14.
11 serves 14. Assuming that's short. Second serve. Side is out.
That was a nice.
Each player taking advantage when the other person's serve was just a bit off.
14.
He wanted Mondo to play that a little bit higher, but it stayed in his strike zone.
Just over the line. And you're right. As soon as you make one little tiny mistake, the other player is capitalizing.
No appeal.
I'm a little surprised.
Side is out.
See the power serve here. Probably means he'll hit a cracked ace right now.
11 serving 14.
Almost got it.
Almost. Got the shot he wants though. Yep.
Point.
Amazing shot there from Peixoto over the top. Keeps it down. He's now tied Ortiz in the flat roll category. And that one stays in that
60.
flat roll even though it was up just a little bit. It's one of those pass kills.
Yeah, Armando has to commit one way or the other. He chose to cover the corner.
24 combined kill shots between the two players here. And you heard Sean Linning say that he's inspired
I
by
didn't say that.
the show that Armando Ortiz is putting on, but Emmett's right there and has been since the very beginning.
I just like him if you like him with coffee.
Ortiz may be a bottom board specialist, but Emmett Peixoto's showing you that he's got it as well. And this is another one of those matches, John, I've brought it up all weekend. It's the first time you and I have talked. 14, when a player gets to 14, a timeout is called almost every single time in this tournament. I've never seen it happen as much as I see it here. And I think it's kind of a play on, we only get a 3-minute break in between games.
And that serve was the combination of the two observations we had just made. Almost the crack he was looking for, but missed it by just enough that Armando capitalized. How is that going with the timeout at game point? Are they getting the side outs or are they?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it has
There you
been.
go.
That was a short ball.
I think the ref was screened.
I think
It
he's
wasn't
doing a
quick-
family
And
text.
the ball's broken.
Or the ball's broken.
Let's look here. But no, this is really short.
Broke.
Okay, that the reaction was to the broken ball. They both felt it should have come further than it did.
What I'm saying here about that 14 is that as soon as a player gets to 14, you're seeing these timeouts being called.
And
it's
someone's got to catch the ball.
Kind of odd because it's happened the whole tournament. I don't recall it ever really happening much in the history of these live broadcasts. You heard earlier Kara Mack talking about us doing this for 10 years. I have seen it literally. I'm going to say we've had
30,000 matches?
No, I'm just saying here in this tournament, maybe we've broadcasted, what, 14 matches. It's happened at least, it's happened twice in each one of these matches. It happened 11 times at least.
Serving 12.
All sports are always evolving. If someone sees something work, something they can do.
Wow.
Boy, did he blast that ball.
What in the world just happened?
Is he asking for a screen or
That
a
should
short?
be match game. I mean, game.
Oh, it's sometimes the new ones have a.
I don't think so.
This point is
There's
going to go
there's a
with Mondo Ortiz, and they're
slide
going
appeal.
to a
Which
line judge here.
Didn't say that.
I think it's going to be over. Referee saw it as a point.
You see a slide?
it was clearly different from every other bounce,
Yeah,
but
we're going
that's
to play that game, first game over.
wow.
Oh, you don't want the game to be over? You don't want the game to be
Oh,
over.
so
is what
Nadi
you just
said that. He said play the first game over. That's game over. What's more entertaining that way? See, in Spanish you would say, I actually have no idea. Armando just heard the word over and did not like that, but Nadi was actually saying game over.
First game's over.
Over?
No, the first game is over.
Okay.
Okay, I see what you're saying. And now Emmett's upset because he thinks that Mondo came out and lobbied and won that.
No, I didn't call
No,
slide.
he never called a slide,
didn't
but
call it?
he said the word over as in game over, which isn't the
I don't
typical
know. No, I didn't say-
vernacular.
So this
That's
is Emmett
what
getting
I thought
chippy,
that
and
slid.
so that means Emmett's
You
right.
must be right. No, I understand
No, I
the
didn't say slid.
confusion.
As debated. I asked, yes.
Nadi's exact words are something like,
Nobody said
we're
anything.
going to play first
said
game
random
over, which is an unclear way to say it. They both heard the
It's
word
okay.
over,
Right.
and they briefly thought, well, we're playing it over now.
Okay.
Now, back to what actually happened, though. That was a different bounce than they've seen the
I
whole
asked
game
if
because
the
it was
ball
the
was
first
okay
ball
before
with
they
a new
started.
bounce. And Nadi's explaining now to the people next to him, they both approved the ball. They both rubbed it up, and
Right.
he asked if the ball was ready,
Well,
and you live with that.
nonetheless, we'll take a look at it again, and you can kind of see a slight little
Well,
get up
that's
there. But you're right. It's this new ball has a little film on it, but Nadi cleared himself earlier when he said you both approved this, and they both did, and that was kind of a result from that. But could you still say though, just even though they approved it, that it isn't technically a slide, or is, because it did slide, even if it right? We have a break here. Let's go ahead and just throw this back out to the gallery and talk to Kara Mack, who has the Peixoto family part of it here. Courtside, Kara.
I do. I'm here with Jessica here, his wife. I think she might be called over. No, it's fine. All right. Seeing, I was kind of interrupting you when that last moment just happened because it happened so quickly. Talk about how kind of Emmett deals in these situations.
He's frustrated right now, but he just needs to kind of let it go and get his mind collected and focus on the next game. And it seems like he's still kind of focused on it, so he needs to take this time right now to focus on game 2.
Is it kind of something where he needs this time alone? I know sometimes you like to go out there during those in between those games.
I'm going to leave him alone for a minute or two and then go over there and talk with him, but give him a second.
Talk a little bit about this tournament. He's been playing in all of them, obviously, this year.
Yeah.
What has it meant to him to be able to travel so much and do this still?
Oh, it means everything to him. I mean, this sport is his life. He lives for handball and definitely has his heart. And I just think he's had a great season, and I'm hoping that he can come back in game 2 and find a serve that's a bit more effective for him. He seemed to struggle a little bit with that in this first game. So.
Because he takes this whole tour around, you do get to as well. So as a spectator and as a wife, what have you enjoyed about this whole season?
Oh, it's the best sport around. I mean, it's so much fun to watch all the players and see how they, read each other and learn each other's games and kind of strategize, and the athleticism. Everything about it is just so much fun to watch, and it's great. I feel lucky to be able to kind of be with Emmett and travel with him.
Has there been a favorite tournament for you?
I think San Francisco, just because our family was there. That was a lot of fun. He had so much support from the crowd, and it was so scary, having a back injury, and then him being able to come back and play as well as he did. I think that was just a really fun tournament for our family to be able to see.
When a player goes home from one of these tournaments, kind of back to your own town, real life, is he constantly reminiscing about the past tournament, or does he kind of move on, do his thing while he's there, and then travel again?
It depends. Sometimes it takes him, a week or so to kind of rebound. Other times he's just ready to focus on and start training right away. So I think it depends on how he feels about the way he plays. That makes the difference.
The WPH has been around now for 10 years. I know he's been a big part of that. What do you think that means to him? What do you think the WPH means to him, and how he's enjoyed it?
I think he just feels so lucky to be a part of it and to be a part of such an amazing thing and to try and grow the sport. Yeah.
As a wife, is it neat to see that he has something on the side? I know, to see something else that he loves and he loves to do and he's sticking to it.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
All right, thank you so much.
Thanks, Kara.
Back to you guys.
Thank you very much. As we get ready here
Okay, fellas.
for game number 2, Nadi Alvarado, our referee, is saying, come on, fellas, get on the court. They have a 3-minute break. But here in Salt Lake City, it is very packed along the back wall and the side wall, as we're trying to get the players back onto the court for game number 2. It was Emmett Peixoto losing game number 1, scoring 12 points, and it was Mondo pulling away at the end, 15 for him. And Emmett looked really sharp there. Looked like he had Mondo on the ropes. Halfway through, remember when Mondo kind of pounced on his chest just a little bit? He walked down the sidelines, called a timeout, changed his shirt, came back in, looked really flat. Emmett took over, and then Mondo got a second wind, John, and then
Serves 0.
Emmett fought, made some great shots, but it just was all Mondo at the very end. Jeez, I mean, it just, game 2 starts the way game 1 started.
Yeah, this is
and ended.
Possibly Mondo's only winning formula, but it's within reach. It's something he can do. So just roll that mother out, and that won't be low enough.
Point.
I don't know how Mondo saw that. That was.
One.
If someone would have said that Emmett just hit a flat rollout over there, I would have agreed with it. And that ball slid?
That's a good ball.
Mondo's
Crazy.
playing for the hook. This ball is. We'll see if they stay with this ball. It is bouncing differently.
2, serve 0.
Mondo making the hand gesture, indicating it was all hook.
Hold it.
Oof. That's a
He
horrible
waited for you
call.
to get out of the way to get there.
That's a borderline call. because
Borderline.
He was screened.
A lot faster than you think.
Naughty
He was
said.
screened and he got it.
Naughty said, "I'm waiting for you to get out of the way."
Okay, maybe.
Screen? I don't know about that.
Yeah, I thought it was.
It's about
I can't see football.
11 foot.
Replay. 2, serve 0. Football.
I wonder if he was tipped off between games, because Armando's foot fault rate is well over 50%.
Second serve.
Just throwing that out there.
Football.
Now you have some gamesmanship between the two, ref and player. No screen called.
That's a late call, sorry.
Mondo's going to hate that.
Thank you. Hinder ball.
Armando's not going to like that.
Replay. 2, serving 0.
Where was that?
Well, Emmett's a lot faster than you or I.
No, but he didn't. It was a contact call, not a.
Oh, see, that's why right there. See that get he made?
Yeah, but no, it was
He
a
would have made
contact.
the other two.
The other one was
I
called
didn't see
for
a slide there,
contact.
but you may have.
This
I
is
didn't see a slide.
And now this is going to end again. 4 in a row.
yeah,
This
I'm
one is
sure
going to be
that
called a
is a
slide.
Which he would do every time
You
if
can ask
Mondo
to
wasn't
switch
always
that
in his
ball
way.
If you don't like that ball. You'd have to ask him. He'd have to
And
agree
we
with
didn't have the angle to see it. No, not he can say you can ask, and then I can say no, just for laughs.
it. Are we switching the ball?
If Mondo thinks
Do
the
you want
ball's
to have
fine,
the ball?
Nadi has a decision to make.
Here you go. Please take all the
He does not have to switch
off of
it
this.
based on one player's
point.
recommendation.
These balls are tough.
So that's what Emmett can do when he has a clear path, justifying the other two calls. I don't know. I don't think that slid, actually. He lost it a little in the glass.
Yeah, but this is whether they're good or bad. That's 4 in a row for Mondo. If you count the foot fault, it's 5. Just
Oh, I thought he didn't get that point. I thought he
No.
awarded. I thought he awarded the point and then said you can switch the ball if you agree.
no. He said it was slid.
The referee did.
Right.
I'm actually pretty sure, but I'm holding my tongue.
All of these balls
How are we doing with the ball?
have been warmed up prior to going into this court, but I guess they do get cold again.
Okay.
Yeah, we do this thing at the club where a guy tries to call a hinder, and we say, yeah, okay, fine, hinder, and then we just say the next point. So let's see if that's what he does, and just goes ahead and says 3. Okay, yeah, sure,
All
slide,
right.
3-0.
We got 3 serving 0.
And he
Okay,
did,
so yeah.
and he did, the Alvarado hinder, non-hinder call.
Short ball.
Makes everybody happy.
You're appealing. I'm sorry. One agrees. Yeah, short serve.
That was about 24 inches short.
Second serve.
So somebody disagrees with that, they should not be a line judge. Lost our court sounds here, but I can see the action on the big screen and live.
Oh boy.
There we go.
A good ending to a mediocre point.
The referee's going to actually change the ball. That ball's terrible, but it's a side out nonetheless.
So that ball, I guess, is
Yeah. And then we're going to change that ball.
Oh, good. They're going to change balls.
Let's come.
They're going to change batteries.
Yeah, this is horrible.
I think the last one was.
Yeah, this ball benefits him.
Okay.
Super slow.
I don't know what you don't. You don't have to be a jerk.
It's the first good call that's been made from Dave Fink.
and they're capturing the switch.
Referee thinks it's comedy night down at Caroline's. This is actually a pro match. Trying to see if we get less banter.
Fink was almost banter-free reffing the last match, but he let one slide on one towel situation. So they do not throw stones if you live in a house
made of
gingerbread.
I don't know how the
glass houses.
I know
don't throw glass at someone with stones.
Don't throw gingerbread houses with a guy that has a.
Don't throw glass at someone who has stones.
There was a referee change. The players heard the word change, and they both looked at their gloves. They thought Naughty was still reffing. And there's a point there for
that's
Emma
more
Peixoto.
like the first ball they rejected, just a hair faster.
So a lot of confusion here, but yeah, referee was fired just now, and they put a new referee in.
In my opinion, a poor decision.
No, we're trying to get these matches to move along, not extend along for 4 or 5 hours.
Doing a good job so far. When's that 12 o'clock match starting?
Exactly.
I think this slightly faster ball slightly benefits Mondo. 3-2 right now. Now, yeah. Dave.
See a lot of replays here.
I think it's important that Mondo gets some space here because he's making a push right now. And you wonder how many pushes of these type he has left.
4-2.
The fist pump generally belies that it was short.
One agrees. Disagree.
This was close. So we'll see it though.
We have to stop it right when it hits the
I'm
ground.
going to go with his call over here.
It was short. I didn't see it, but Mondo's fist pump told me it was short. As soon as Mondo pumped that fist.
Really short.
Yeah, that's a really good fist pump too, though.
Let's see, Emmett didn't hear a second serve call.
And who's our backup referee?
I did say second serve. Yeah, I did.
How far down the referee depth chart do we have to go? We know you always got Finks back. I understand.
I have no clue what you're talking about, John.
I did call second serve, and you had an
I
opportunity.
mean, if we can sit here and listen to a referee have a comedy show with the crowd, which is not handball, or we can have somebody go in there and make this direct. I'm not backing anybody. I don't care who the ref is, as long as it's not comedy night at Caroline's. And the last performance we had was absolutely horrible.
But who is the next ref? Just saying.
Well,
Mark Gilmer?
Whoever the next one is, they'll definitely be better than the one that we just had, which was horrible.
1 minute or 30. Okay. You're first, 60 seconds.
And the players are saying here that one of the players said they didn't hear the second serve call. I didn't hear it either, but the player said I called second serve after the appeal was over.
That's the only
But
reason.
that's the
It's not a
difference. See, the
major
problem
mistake
is,
by Fink, but that's my issue. I didn't hear a second serve call either.
no, he
Fink
didn't
is
call it.
insisting
He
that
has a
did.
different cadence than the previous referee, and
Right.
that's a problem that, you know, that's part of the problem of the comedy show.
The
It
comedy
creates
show
a
was
lot
the
of
correct
problems.
cadence when to call second serve.
I know, but when you start like feeling like you're trying to get laughs from the crowd and you're not focusing on the match,
I'm not arguing that.
well, then
Fink,
that it creates
Fink
a problem
just made a
with the
bad call and then pretended he didn't.
15 seconds.
To me, that's an issue.
And you'll have 1 full timeout remaining and 1 30-second timeout. But I see your gloves on. Okay. Time.
We're in the quarterfinals here of the Race for 8 Players Championship, Salt Lake City,
Time in.
with the ace cleanup team. Edel Handball, Emmett Peixoto, and Mondo Ortiz. It was Mondo taking the first one, 15-12.
6-2.
We're at 6-2 now. Mondo just chugging along.
Timeout.
Announcer's curse.
2-6. Short.
Not sure about this. Might be appealed. Let's look at the cadence, John.
Second serve.
That's the typical one.
That's
right
the
there.
way it should be.
And excellent analysis between games from Jessica, pinpointing, first of all, Emmett's inability to find an effective serve, which he still is struggling with, and also calling the frustration that it doesn't look like he's fully resolved yet.
And a foot fault called there against Mondo Ortiz.
Second serve.
He's mad about it, but I don't know why. It's just a rule.
Doesn't he? Yeah, you gotta
Stay within the boundaries, and there's another point now for Ortiz. Peixoto not calling a timeout here, electing not to, but he has to be frustrated enough to
7-2.
want to call one. Again.
Don't think it's quite a slide. It's just slightly different from how the other ball was.
Well, look at Mondo's position on the floor here. Referee needs to, again, take charge, and there he is. Referee stepping in to say, play ball. You see, Mondo's so low to the ground when he hits this. It's just a different pitch.
That makes a
See,
live
again.
ball will legally slide when you start from that low. Silveira had that shot. It's no fun playing him with a good ball.
Oh, look at that flat rollout from Mondo Ortiz, and we're going to get a towel. You heard the referee say towel during the rally. Not happy about that, but here I thought there was going to be some contact. Mondo hits a pretty darn good shot.
That's the shot Sean Lenning was talking about. Starts 4 inches high and goes down about 1 inch.
It is pretty impressive. And those, like you said, when that ball is hit so hard like that, it does just naturally have to slide.
Come on!
You're seeing Mondo put points on the board here, and Peixoto
9-2.
frustrated now. 9-2 is the score, going to 15.
Boy, he's locked in.
I saw it with Noddy earlier with that same sort of serve that it looked like the ball was just flying off the ground in that same spot.
Second serve.
Yeah, when he's crushing his reverse in practice, we end up hitting him with our fingertips. It just stays lower than you think it should. but it's not a slide. It's produce.
9-2.
Tour sauce. And he got the crack. If it didn't get the crack, Emmett was there.
Like how Mondo walks forward after hitting this to avoid it being called a screen or a hinder. But he kind of walks forward here
10-2.
because he knows what's behind him. I don't think he made the best effort to get out of the way, but
No, the crack saved him there. That was the only way he could have won the rally on that shot.
Mondo
Look at
does
him
it
go, though.
again, now at 11.
1 minute.
Mondo now looking back at the referee, at the player, saying, what's going on here? But he knows. Ortiz at 11.
Yeah, if it certainly looks good for Ortiz now, but I mean, if Emmett can hold off this run, I still wonder how much more Mondo would have left. I mean, he only needs 4 more points, so he's in very good shape.
Players Championship, Salt Lake City, Utah, where
30 seconds.
the men's quarterfinals are.
Big foot fault on that practice serve. Foot fault's even more in practice.
Emmett is just saying, I'm missing all these shots. You can read his lips.
10 seconds.
You know, well, not the right time for that observation.
Mondo serving. And
I've still got the filter.
no full timeouts remaining in 1:30 seconds.
You do.
I just filtered something.
Wow.
I thought it would be very entertaining, but slightly over the line.
11-2.
I have a filter, I just don't talk to whatever the person is for a year.
Wow.
Look at that over the top of the ball. Mondo has this knack of hitting, I don't know how he does it, but just less than an inch high off the front wall, more so than anybody I could ever recall.
Not sure the purpose of that.
Side out.
I actually don't like that. That little fake, like I'm going to go for it shot.
2-12.
The guy's gonna move forward anyway.
It wouldn't have mattered there, buddy.
Wouldn't have mattered there.
That was over.
Side out.
Ugh, Emmett had the door just starting to crack open, and he did not get his foot in there.
12-2. Side out.
What is Emmett going to have to do here to
I don't know. He went away from the overhand lob so quickly. Perhaps the altitude, he feels he can't keep it off the back wall, but that was his winning formula in Denver. And early in the first game, he just abandoned that.
Is it too late to pick away and start scoring little points, or
I never, for any guy at this level, can either pick away and nut up in the defense or just run 8 to 10 points at any time.
Second serve. Side out.
That would not be the way to do it, though.
30-second timeout, Mondo. You're first.
Mondo Ortiz taking that timeout? Game number 2, it was Emmett Peixoto scoring 12 in that first game. 15-12 with Mondo winning. Now Mondo up 12-2 here in game number 2. And we have a winner that will go on to face Luis Moreno in a semifinal later tonight. Meanwhile, Sean Lenning is getting ready to play the winner of Mike Schneider and Daniel Cordova in that upper bracket semifinal. The birthday boy, Sean Lenning, celebrating his 30th.
Ortiz to serve. You have 2 full timeouts remaining, no 30 seconds. 12-3.
But he faked to the right.
Towel, please. Towel. Well, it'd be best if they just threw it in while he was on the ground. That way he'd know where it was. And he wouldn't have to move. Yeah, but that takes time too. Then they have to pick him up and put him. If they just,
You see in the background there, Ben Edel from Edel Handball talking to one of his sponsored players. Ben came over and said, you know, is it okay if Dan wears the Edel hat?
Okay.
On the court?
Yeah, and I said, yeah, no. No, it's not going to happen.
We had a situation like that at the 1986 Dan Brown Invitational in Austin, Texas, when one of the teams in the finals was wearing overalls and cowboy hats. And they said, that's fine, but if the ball hits the hat, it's an avoidable hinder. That's how we do in Texas. I'm not making any of that up either. That did happen. Three guesses who was wearing the cowboy hat.
Well, it would have been you. And the
Coach
overalls was
No, both.
also you.
Both, yeah, well, and my partner. But
4-13.
There's another point as Emmett starts picking here, game number 2.
a good off-air extension to that story I could share.
5-13.
Can you talk in code on air? It's always fun.
I don't try.
You don't trust yourself?
Something would slip.
Look at this back wall setup. Super slow-mo replay brought to you by Mesh, Clark, and Rothschild.
Now, kudos to Dave Fink on that. The inexperienced eye would see the tweener and maybe overreact and call the hinder, but I think Mondo made the fastest possible movement toward the ball he could and was still a foot short, so that was a good no call.
Second serve.
And here it is now. Peixoto getting more points.
Crucial that Emmett get back in that mindset that Armando has to hit nothing but brilliant shots to close this one out. Unfortunately, left that serve up to making it easy to hit the brilliant shot.
13-7. Short.
The fist pump again. Fink not having it.
Well, Fink knows.
Second serve.
Strange shot from Peixoto there. That little underhand paddle right to the wheelhouse of Mondo.
Maybe a hair late, probably trying to push it into the left side glass. Certainly couldn't have been what he was intending to do there.
14-7.
Now game and match, serve 7.
Here it is.
And he does it. Mondo Ortiz takes down Emmett Peixoto, advances to the semifinals and will face one of his rivals, Luis Moreno. And I just brought it up the other day. It's been so long that we've seen Moreno and Mondo go up against each other, and Mondo Ortiz is a fan favorite here. We're going to try to see if we can get Mondo Ortiz back onto this court here, and it's really a kind of a mob scene here for a quarterfinal match.
Well, this is his second phenomenal quarterfinal performance here, 2 back-to-back years.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. A great win right there from Mondo Ortiz, who takes down Emmett Peixoto. Emmett losing in the round of 8 in 2 consecutive tournaments. Let's go to Mondo Ortiz and Kara Mack courtside now. Kara.
Headed to the semifinals, how does it feel?
It feels great. Did this last year, and since Paul Brady out of the mix, everybody confident levels went up. So, you know, it's a good thing I played this good against Emmett Peixoto. Felt like he was going to slow my game down, but his lobsters were coming in, and you know, I just pay him, get the consequences he gives me, and I just try to flat roll.
How do you feel like your game has improved lately?
You know what? I don't really think I improve. I just keep steady, you know. You know, I just go for my shots, and you know, I'm just a shoot-to-kill guy, and I go for the bottom board all the time, mostly. So, you know, and if I start missing, I change up like to first passes and stuff like that, ceiling. So, you know, I just kept with my game plan, and I just stuck with it. And I just got him.
How much confidence do you gain in beating Emmett here?
Yeah, you know, it's not much confidence level. It's just like it's a stepping stone over. You know you got another guy ahead of you that is much powerful and stronger.
This being the last stop in the tournament, does it feel great going into the semis and knowing that you're getting better?
Oh yeah. Throughout the whole pro stops, I was losing the quarterfinals. So it's first time the pro stop be advancing the semifinals. So it was a real big relief to finally push that little edge. Last season I was advancing the semis like pretty easy. So yeah, I'm getting in there slowly but surely.
Not quite done yet today. What are you going to do to recover?
Not. You gotta go rest, go eat, get your feet off the ground, and get ready for the next match.
Feel support from the crowd out there?
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, I love Salt Lake City. You know, the crowd's behind me here, and I love it.
And you just want me to let you go get ready. I can tell. All right, congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, guys.
Mondo wanted to get out of that court so bad, and she just would not let him go, John. It was Mondo Ortiz taking down Emmett Peixoto 15-12, 15 to 7 in that second game there. And now we're going to get ready for Daniel Cordova and Mike Schneider. Stay close. We'll have more action for John Bike. My name is Dave Vincent here on ESPN and the Watch ESPN app as these guys warm up live as the last quarterfinal match of the day is here. We still have the men's semis, the 40 semis, the women's semis. We might get out at midnight tonight. Get ready. More handball coming up on ESPN and the Watch ESPN app. Up next from the Sports Mall in Salt Lake City, Utah. Stick around on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
This broadcast of the Players' Championship is brought to you by MineSight, the global leaders in mining software, by Tucson Rolling Shutters, by Mesh Clark and Rothschild, and by Simple Green. Simple Green's all-purpose cleaners concentrated formula provides up to 30 times the cleaning value.